Tennessee Titans fans, Ian Rapoport has weighed in on the Tennessee Titans canceling their private workouts with Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter. I did a video giving my thoughts about this a few days ago, but let's hear what one of the insiders has to say. This is Ian Rapoport talking about that canceled private workout.
First of all, the Tennessee Titans deciding not to work out Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter was more of a mutual decision rather than the Titans saying, all right, we are going to cancel and just move on from there. And you're right, there was a big presence from Tennessee at the Shedeur Sanders throwing session where Travis Hunter, of course, very famously caught passes. Hunter also considered to be a top cornerback prospect, but decided to catch passes for NFL scouts there.
That's interesting to me, by the way, that Travis Hunter didn't do any DB drills at the showcase. They're not calling it a pro day. It's a showcase. That's interesting to me, I guess, because he felt like he had more to prove at wide receiver. I don't know. But also interesting that it was a mutual decision. It wasn't like the Titans said, hey, don't bother. It was mutual. They both agreed not to do it.
As far as the reason for the canceling, and you're right, this does seem to be the most noteworthy thing to come out of the Shedeur Sanders Colorado showcase, is that it does seem like the Tennessee Titans process is winding down, the process that will likely end with them making the #1 overall selection, selecting Cam Ward first in the draft, and then having the draft start at 2. This at least would signal that that's a direction they are headed.
I mean, some of y'all got mad at me. Some of y'all got mad at me the other day for saying that exact same thing. I'm not saying if you don't want Cam Ward, I'm not saying you have to change your mind or convince yourself or talk yourself into it, but what we've seen from the Titans would certainly indicate that that's the path that they're going down. I mean, if you're strongly considering Shedeur Sanders or Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter, you would do what you did with Cam Ward. You would have a private workout to where it's just you and him, and the Titans aren't doing that. They canceled it. And want to remind you, about a week and a half ago, they said they were 2 weeks away from making their final decision. So what Ian said is correct. I mean, as I'm recording this, it's April 8th. We are essentially 2 weeks away from the draft. So as we're starting to see some of the dominoes fall, I mean, listen to what Ian's telling you.
Tennessee Titans have not come out and officially said they are not considering trades. The Titans have not come out and said that they are for sure taking the #1 overall pick rather than trading. And I know there is trade interest from several teams, including the New York Giants. But deciding after consultation with Shedeur Sanders, after consultation with his people, deciding not to go forward.
The thing for me is, if the Titans really thought that a trade was going to materialize, if the Titans really thought that they were going to be moving to 2 or 3, why in the world would you cancel your private workout with Shedeur and Travis Hunter? Because if you trade with the Giants, if you feel like there's a good chance of that happening, if you feel like there's any chance of that happening, the player you're taking at 3 could very well be Shedeur Sanders or Travis Hunter. So you're going to cancel the workout with them? I think if they actually felt like a trade was possible and was probable, they would have continued with this private workout, because they would have thought, okay, we're trading back. So who's going to be there at 3? Who's going to be there at 2? These two, you know? And so while I mean, it's what I said about a week ago, I'm sure they're keeping the door open just in case anybody wants to offer a generational trade. But, I mean, when you hear the Browns GM saying it's probably not happening, when you hear the Giants GM saying it's probably not happening, even talks of teams like the Jets or the Saints, those talks have died down tremendously. I think at this point, I just don't, I don't see a trade material. I don't see the Browns or the Giants or whoever giving up their soul to get up there and get Cam Ward.
With a pro day or a private workout for him does at least point the Titans in the direction of picking number 1.
Yeah, well, and that's, it's not just canceling the workout. I mean, if you've been watching this channel, if you've been watching really any Titans content channel for the last couple of weeks, shout out to my Titans coffee mug, you know, it's not just that they canceled the workout. It's that, you know, the biggest telltale sign is that Amy Adams Strunk took a private jet to go out and meet Cam Ward face to face. I did a video about it, so I don't want to delve into it too much, but as I told you before, some owners in the NFL, that would be commonplace. For some owners in the NFL, they would do that, but for Amy Adams Strunk, that's not the norm. That's not something that she would normally do, but she did it for Cam Ward. And so those two things right there, canceling the workout with Shedeur and Travis Hunter, Amy going to meet him, those are the top 2 signs for me that the Titans are drafting Cam Ward. And then you pepper in the fact that we've heard from the Browns GM, we've heard from the Giants GM that it probably a trade's not happening. Even though they'd be interested, they're not willing to give up what the Titans would want. You know, and I will say, like I said the other day, I'm not talking down to anybody. I'm not saying that you're wrong if you would rather have Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, Shedeur, trade back. You're entitled to your opinion. We all want the Titans to get better. I'm not dogging you for having a different opinion than me. My opinion, though, and this has been my opinion since the offseason started and we knew the Titans had the number 1 pick. I've been saying this since the start. If you're convinced that Cam Ward is him, you take him. If you're not convinced, take anybody else. Don't just take a quarterback because you feel like you have to, but if you feel like he's it, draft him. I've said that from the start. There's a lot to like about Cam Ward that's been talked about and talked about and talked about. I like the pick because while the Titans have other needs, edge rush, wide receiver, I said it yesterday on my podcast, if you don't have the guy at quarterback, who cares? Who cares? If you don't have the right guy at quarterback, if you don't have the future at quarterback, nothing matters. That's the uncomfortable truth in this league. If you don't have the guy at quarterback, who cares how good your edge rushers are? Who cares how good your wide receivers are? You got to have your guy at quarterback. And if the Titans feel like Cam Ward is their guy, I've said it from day one, draft him. Tighten up, everybody.